Today in Business Success in 6 with Stacie, I have Maggie Murphy here from Clover in Milwaukee, Wisconsin. Maggie, thanks for jumping on with me.
Thank you so much for inviting me.
It's my pleasure. I can't wait for you to share Clover with our clients, community, followers. So if you don't mind, can we talk about Clover today?
You sure can.
All right, here we go. When people ask you what Clover does, how do you describe your business?
Well, we like to say we're more than a plant shop. We do carry obviously a bunch of different plants, whether that be cacti, succulents, house plants, and anything in between. But we also like to focus on plant related products as well. We have really great art that is on the walls, which is one of my favorite parts of the business, is that all of the art is created by local women from around the Milwaukee area.
Awesome.
So we have about 21 artists on the walls right now, which is really great. They're from all walks of life and all different ages, and just it's so cool meeting all these different lady entrepreneurs that are just like kicking ass. Um,
Totally.
so so we have them displayed on the walls, and it is for sale, which is really great. And it has been a much larger part of our business than we expected it to be when we first opened our doors, which has been like really, really cool. But we also carry locally roasted coffee from Valentine Coffee Roasters. It's my favorite coffee in all of Milwaukee, because I like to make a pot when I'm at work. And so I
Totally.
thought we might as well sell this too so other people can enjoy our blend. We have, informative books, all sorts of plant related stuff. And we try and stay as local as possible, which is another one of our biggest missions, is to have a very small carbon footprint. So we only source our plants out of the Midwest.
Okay.
We go about an hour north and an hour south. And that's it. So we get the opportunity to go to our greenhouses and actually see the product that we're going to be carrying that week. And it's really, really helpful just being able to like quality control everything by seeing it in person so that we know it's the best quality for our customers.
Absolutely. Yeah. And just getting to connect with other local entrepreneurs and support them besides
Yeah.
having that small carbon footprint. That's beautiful. So you have a really unique story about how this business ended up starting.
Yes.
What were your plans when you started your business? And can you share the progression?
Yes. So when it first started, I had lost my job because of the pandemic and was stuck at home doing virtual with two boys. So work was kind of on the back burner. I had to stay home with them. And it was honestly my boyfriend who was like, hey, you should probably take some of these plants that are sitting in our house and do something with them. Like, AKA get them out. uh, so I thought, hey, that's not a bad idea. So I started the business Instagram. It was just Clover MKE, and I was delivering plants around the greater Milwaukee area using Venmo and Instagram, and that's how it started. And then my longtime friend Sissy, now business partner, had reached out to me in like midsummer and was like, "Hey, we should sit down and grab a cup of coffee." So we got coffee. We were chit chatting about our business plans as far as plants go. And
Mhm.
we decided, hey, we should probably partner up instead of being future competition with each other. So, between the two of us, we both had basements filled with plants, and grow lights everywhere. And we were still just operating, on Instagram and Venmo. And then we sat down and really focused on making like a very user friendly website. We tried to make it as like simple as possible to navigate. So then we started operating, via our website, and online sales were going great. We were still delivering plants all over the greater Milwaukee area. And then a girlfriend of mine had reached out and said that, hey, these like local women own this building and they have a space that's opening up. Do you want to go check it out? And Sissy was very gun ho, like, let's do it. I was a little nervous just because we were so new, only operating for a few months online at that point. So it was very, very new, but we sat down and talked about it a lot, and decided that this was the best step for our business. And this location is perfect. It's something that we would never be able to find again. And having, two women who own the building, helping us start a business has been amazing. They've been so supportive. It was really, really great. And now here we are, almost 2.5 years later.
Incredible. So really, even when you had started, you were growing all of your own plants, and now because you've gotten so big, you are using other greenhouses. That's
Yeah.
so
Yeah.
cool. Oh my gosh, absolutely incredible. So, what is the biggest way that you impact the community besides using local vendors and keeping that small carbon footprint? Would you like to share a little bit more about that?
Yeah, definitely. So going off the small carbon footprint goal or mission of ours, we also work with a local business called Compost Crusaders. So they come on like a bi-weekly or so basis and pick up all of our plant waste and they turn it into compost, which is
Wow.
really great. So back when I was in the service industry, I was working at a local bar and restaurant called Good Kind. And they use Compost Crusaders for all of their kitchen waste. And I just thought that, like, what a genius idea to take so much of the waste and use it for something good.
Yeah.
So it was something that was really important to me when we opened, to be able to work with something like that, just so, we are using our waste for good.
Absolutely. That's so great. I think another thing, way that you impact the community that I just wanted to touch on is plants are such a healing thing for people. I mean, they're nourishing the air, but isn't there science behind them actually helping to heal us in certain ways?
Oh, definitely. They absorb toxins from the air, they release oxygen, they really clean the air. NASA did this amazing study on snake plants or mother-in-law's tongue.
Yep, behind you, right? On
Yep,
to your
there's one
left.
over here.
Right? Yes.
Yeah.
I know that
And
mother-in-law.
yeah, so they did this study and you could survive in an enclosed space with only 6 to 8 snake plants because they reproduce so much oxygen.
Wow.
So they're a really great plant to invest in year round, but especially winters. We all get so stuffy, the windows are closed, we have our heat on. It's really just like stagnant air we're sitting in. So investing in snake plants is something that's really, really great.
Wow. That is so great to hear. That sounds like a really good gift for people too, huh?
Yeah, and they are one of the easiest to take care of plants. I mean,
Okay.
they can be in sun, they can be tucked in a corner and forgotten about. You water them every 2 to 3 weeks, but they're very drought tolerant. So they're a plant that if you forget a watering schedule, it's not the end of the world.
That sounds like a good kind of plant to me, huh? With especially, I mean, as we
Yeah.
have boys and everything else, it's like, okay, we've got so much to focus on. This is a healthy way to bring some color and fresh oxygen into our rooms. Thank you for sharing that specifically.
Yeah, of course.
So my next question for you is, what is one challenge that you and Sissy have faced that other business owners could learn from?
Well, I think the biggest thing was, opening in the middle of the pandemic. We weren't really sure of how business was going to go or what it was going to be like. When we first opened, we had to operate at under a capacity because our building is so small. We could only let 8 people in here at a time. And having just opened, everybody, we had lines out the door who were like waiting to come in. And and it was really hard to just be like, no, sorry, you can't come in.
Right?
But I think one of the biggest things would be fair pricing, because, with how terrible inflation is, our prices are raising from where we're sourcing from. So we want to try the best we can to keep prices fair in the shop. So it's a really, tough balance of, wanting everything to be affordable and approachable. We don't want to scare people away with, too high of prices,
Yeah.
while still needing to make a profit. So I think that that's been our biggest challenge. But it's, we're doing our best for sure.
That's great. And that's something our coaches talk about quite a bit, is that you're going to have to raise your price at some point. Like inflation
Mhm.
happens, and when other people are doing it, you're going to have to too. So it's a big challenge and something to swallow. A lot of people I feel like are really afraid to raise that, but you know, it
Yeah,
shows that you're staying competitive and that you're also worth it. You know, it's
yeah,
valuable. So
yeah.
absolutely. So what does the future look like to you in Clover, and do you have an exit plan?
I do not have an exit plan. I don't want an exit plan. Being in our third year now, I think both Sissy and I would just like to watch Clover grow and expand. And maybe that means opening a second location someday. I don't know. I definitely don't have plans to be doing anything else besides this for a while.
Oh, that is okay. When you love what you do and you're creating such beautiful things, I think it's
Yeah.
easy to stay with it, right?
Yeah.
Awesome. So my final question for you is, all subjects open, what inspires you most?
That would have to be my parents. And I know that sounds really, really cheesy, but
No.
they are like so supportive. I would not have my love of plants if it wasn't for them. I grew up in a house filled with plants and a yard, brimming with flowers and different wildlife. And I think that that's a huge part of who I am now today. And just like, watching them, they visit the shop every week. They just love
Oh,
it. And it's like so great to be supported, in every way, shape, or form by really, really lovely people. So they're definitely my inspiration.
that is so beautiful. Thank you for sharing that. Now, if somebody wants to go to Clover, go be able to see what you offer, what are the best ways for them to connect with you?
Well, definitely stopping in the store would be the best way. Um, we are located centrally in Bayview, right across from Cafe Lulu, which is a big staple in Bayview. So anytime people say, "Where's your shop?" I'm like, "Oh, it's across from Lulu," and everyone's like, "Oh,
Perfect.
okay." Stopping in is the best. But we also have everything. Well, 90% of the stuff that we sell in store is also on our website,
Okay.
and you can shop online 24/7. And then, we offer, anytime you can come pick it up. We'll hold the plant for however long. You don't have to buy it and pick it up the same day.
Okay.
Once it's yours, it's yours.
Awesome.
But yeah, and our social media is pretty present. So following us on Instagram is great. Facebook page is great. You can call and ask questions. I'm open to that. We have a repotting service that is also listed on our website. So I have a lot of people come into the shop to get their plants repotted. Doesn't matter if you bought it here. I don't care where you bought it, but I will repot it for you. So that's always a good thing to have.
Absolutely is. Oh my gosh. Well, thank you so much. And before we get off here, Maggie, I know you mentioned that you do a plant rental thing. So I just wanted you to just touch base and let people know, it's not just purchasing plants, but it's also rental. Is there anything else you wanted to share?
Yeah, so basically any like large event, whether that be a wedding, a baby shower, a bridal bachelorette party, something like that. We do offer plant rentals. So if you don't want to, jump the gun and spend a boatload of money on a bunch of really big plants, you can rent them from us for special events. And, we obviously will deliver them and then pick them up ourselves. So you don't have to worry about any of that. We've done business luncheons, bridal showers, baby showers, weddings, anything really.
Awesome. And again, if people want to connect with you, Maggie, going to Clover Milwaukee or Clover MKE.
Yes, clovermke.com.
Awesome.
If you have questions, feel free to call or shoot us an email. And the email is clovermilwaukee@gmail.com. Instagram is just clovermke. Same with the Facebook page.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Well, thank you so much. Thank you for spreading awesome, fresh oxygen, beautiful color, and keep on growing, Maggie.
Thank you so much. And thank you for having me.
My pleasure. Take care.